Amigos y amigas, bienvenidos una vez más a otro programa de comunidad, el show que le trae entrevistas con personas importantes en la comunidad que están contribuyendo, ya sean agencias no lucrativas. En este caso tenemos el gusto de entrevistar al movie maker Juan C. Vázquez, que está contribuyendo mucho a nuestra comunidad, trayéndonos una película que está filmada basado en hechos locales que se llama The Squad. Juan, bienvenido a nuestro programa.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, mi gente? Soy Juan Vázquez. Es mi la nueva película, The Squad. It's based on a true story. It's Houston, Texas had the first Mexican-American detective squad, and this movie follows them. And so it's a retro film. It goes from 1979 until 1988.
Ok, nos saluda Lupita Álvarez, manda saludos. Muchas gracias, Lupita. Cuéntanos, Juan, ¿cuánto tiempo te tomó en filmar esta película?
Dos películas es diferente. Esta película, dos meses, part of the, filming, and then, más o menos seis, 8 meses para editing, so it's still a process.
Sí. Una pregunta, tú eres uno de los famosos, quizás el único famoso movie maker de Houston independiente. Cuéntanos cómo fue que llegaste a tener este título y ser destacado como movie maker. How did you become such a independent, famous filmmaker in Houston?
Yeah. I made my first movie when I was in high school, so it was early. Yeah, very early.
¿Cómo fue esa película? ¿Fue en VHS? ¿Fue en Sony handheld camera? ¿O cómo fue esa película?
Yeah, it was the big ones, the back then, the home camcorders, a big one like that.
Sí. Yeah.
I don't know where that tape is, man. Somebody's got that tape somewhere.
Okay.
But that was
Algo que tienes en común con Steven Spielberg, el gran famoso filmmaker, es de que él empezó a la misma edad, como a los 8 años, estudiando movie making en uno de los estudios en Hollywood, y de ahí aprendiendo a hacer películas. Él hizo una película siendo un teenager, un adolescente.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to start young, It's
yes.
And it'll never leave you. Once you make a movie, you're hooked.
Correct. Manda saludos in search of Nirvana. Dice, saludos, Juan, ¿qué tan difícil es comenzar y por qué no hay buenas producciones en Houston? ¿Qué nos dices? Gracias por su pregunta, Nirvana.
Yeah, so what's the most difficult part of production?
Yeah. No, wow. Dice, what, ¿por qué es tan difícil? Why is it so difficult to get started as a movie maker? And why aren't there good filmmakers in Houston?
Well, you got to be dedicated to it. A lot of people are in it to be famous, or they think this is a quick career that happens overnight, and it doesn't. It's very competitive. Latinos make up 2% of Hollywood filmmakers. And, again, we're 30% of the moviegoers, but we're 2% of the filmmakers. So it's very competitive. And then you get into a market like Houston. I mean, you have to, you have to build your brand, man. You have to say, okay, if your niche is horror or comedy or whatever it is, find your niche and, then build that brand.
Como cualquier producto, tienes que crear una marca y tienes que ser bueno en desarrollar esa marca y venderlo. ¿A qué atribuyes tu éxito, Juan? What do you attribute your success to? Good script writing? Because you do everything. You write your own screenplay, your script. You direct everything. You do the editing. So is it the passion? What is it about you that that has landed some big movies?
Well, I think, there's different parts of the question, but the main thing is, what's first, man? And it's the script. You got to have a good script. It absolutely starts right there. And then, from there, it's attaching the talent, having the people
Yes.
that script come to life. And it's just the organization of how you're going to do it. When you write and direct, you don't need as many people because it's all in your head. You
Yes.
got a lot of it
What
there.
Lo que me fascinó, what fascinated me about your movie is based on a real story here in Houston of detectives and policemen that the crime rate among Latinos was very high. The unsolved murders, the unsolved burglaries, the unsolved basically crime was what percentage was it?
Well, before they were initiated, there was 300 murders, and I want to say they, as they say it, nobody, not what in 1 year, 300 murders to Latinos didn't get solved because they were Spanish speaking.
Wrap your mind around that. 300 murders, 300 muertes aquí en Houston, y por tener apellidos latinos, no le daban gran importancia a resolver el crimen. Así es que crearon este squad, esta unidad de policías y detectives para resolver esos crímenes. En eso está basado la película, The Squad, de este equipo de latinos que se pusieron a investigar y resolver qué porcentaje de los crímenes. ¿Cuántos crímenes resolvieron?
It started off with there was five detectives initially.
Okay.
5 Mexican American detectives, and they got to the point. I think they were solving 80% of the murders. So you went from 0
de las muertes se estaban resolviendo y estaban llevando estos casos al District Attorney para ser litigados. Dice In Search of Nirvana, as a Latino, do you feel that we're always projected as bad guys? We are super diverse. Why is it that in movies don't show that? Why is it that Latinos generally are portrayed as the bad guys, the boogeyman?
Yeah, well, they control our image, and so the image they want to put out there of us is, a lot of times the most negative one that is one of many things that our cultures has that they project that because it's just really controlling us. That's all they want to put out there. I mean, these guys were the first Mexican American detectives. So with this film, we're going from playing the criminals to the detectives. So this is the graduation of our image in Hollywood, but we're taking control of it.
Talk to us about the research you did for this movie, for the storyline. How deep did you go? You actually interviewed and worked with some of these detectives, correct?
Yeah, the ones who wanted to talk, I did talk to them. Again, it's fictional in the sense that I wrote it, but it's based on true events that exist. Right. But I haven't done this much research for a movie since my first film. I mean, it was a lot of things to understand, and you wanted to portray correctly, and just getting these guys were all different, man. They were all individuals, and that there was no there was no mold. Each one was their own individual.
Okay. And how has the movie been received? Is this your first premiere that you have coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, this is the first. So what we're doing right now is a screening tour. Like, we're going on tour, doing screenings of the movie, and I'll make changes as we go. I'm you get to basically be in the chair with the director watching first drafts and first edits. That's what you get to do.
Okay,
it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so we haven't seen the
this
final
film
version.
Will probably release nationwide. We'll probably release the film nationwide around November. That's the.
Okay.
This is a good thing.
Okay, and how are ticket sales going? Are you all sold out? Are there still tickets available?
Oh yeah, I mean there was people were coming buying 20 at a time. So I don't know. I'm not keeping up with it. I it's when they're gone, they're gone.
Okay. All right. And tell us where this is going to be. Where is the first premiere in Houston going to be?
It's going to be in Midtown at Match Theater. Beautiful place. It's a great venue. We're when the doors will open at 7 p.m. and we'll have meet and greet. We'll have a red carpet. Step and repeat stars will be in the building. Press will be there as well. The movie will go on probably around a little before 8, and then we have an after party right down the street that an hour later, and that's going to be hanging out with the stars. We got Angel Salazar from Scarface, the original movie. He's excited. He's actually in town filming doing a new project with me. So we've got so much going on.
That's awesome. I will be there, so be sure to come see me and to meet all the people behind the scenes that went into the production of this movie.
Yeah.
What else can you tell us? Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of them are going to be in the house. There's so many people coming in. It's a great chance. I mean, this is big for the Houston film community. I don't know how they want to take it, but again, from here we're going to South Florida, and then we're going to go to Los Angeles, but we're starting here in Houston.
And why should Latinos support filmmakers like you locally? Why should they? It's time. I have a personal bias, but tell us, why should they support filmmakers?
It's real simple. If we don't support each other, we can't make our own movies. We can't control our own image. We can't tell our own stories. I mean, this is a movie that if this was any other culture, I don't want to say any names, but this would have been made a long time ago. But if I didn't have the infrastructure and the ability to make this film, it wouldn't have got made.
Okay. So In Search of Nirvana says, do you think 44-year-old is too late to film my first movie? What would you say to that?
Not at all. I mean, that's a great age. Danny Trejo, I think he was 4. I want to say he was 44 when he got out of the Pintas. He did time, and when he got out of jail, he got lucky and ended up on a movie set. And he was right around 44 years old when he started his film career. Look at him now.
What was your preparation for movie making, a professional preparation, other than trial and error, doing it on your own?
It's just, again, it's learning. Learn from somebody. I learned from the best. I mean, my mentor was the first Mexican American filmmaker, and there's things you take away from everybody, and it's a learning process.
Can you tell us who that was, or you'd have to kill us? Who was your first mentor?
No. His movies are in the archives in Washington D.C. He's historically the first Mexican American filmmaker, first Chicago. So I had a chance to work with him and just working with a legend and just seeing what working with him, just picking his brain and learning as much as I could from him, and then being ready when it was time for me, and when it was time for me to finally have my platform, and then seize that moment.
We lost you. We didn't get the name. Tell us the name.
I started off.
Who is it?
Yeah, the first Mexican American filmmaker, Efrain Gutierrez.
Efrain Gutierrez. I never heard of him. Yeah, I never heard of him. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, I was in college and I opened a magazine, read about him, and that inspired me.
Okay. So what's next for you? What comes next after this movie?
We're doing a new series called Northside the movie.
Okay.
And, what's that? I can only tell you we're actually
right. All right.
That's why Angel Salazar is in town. We're working on a new project right now.
I got you. Okay. So what inspires you, Juan? What is it that inspires you? What is it talk us about the fire in the belly that inspires you and gets you to come up with fresh ideas or to sit down and write a screenplay?
It's just what makes you tick. I mean, for me, I this pushing our culture and really paying attention to our stories is what matters to me. And then, I think you said something earlier. I was saying this thing a long time ago about how we're always just the pimps and the prostitutes and the drug dealers, and this is an opportunity, where we have 5 Latino detectives. You're lucky to get 1 detective, and this one we have 5. So this was a good opportunity for just young Latino actors and people that are intended to really come together and be shown in a different light.
Looks like In Search of Nirvana is doing the interview, not me. She asked, he or she. I don't know if it's a male or female. Juan, what is your opinion about Pinocchio of Guillermo del Toro?
Well, Guillermo del Toro, he's a guy who comes from a privileged class over there in I think I want to say he's from Guadalajara. It's different to me. He's not us. The Chicano experience, the Mexican American experience, is different than his experience. His films to me are very much they're science fiction. So, for his genre, he does really well. I mean, I don't relate to it per se.
Okay. All right. What other information can you tell us that people need to know about your movie, The Squad?
Well,
How long
again,
is it?
it's based on a true story. It's 130 minutes.
Okay. And what else were you going to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is part of a series. We got Squad 2 and then Squad 3. So this is the first one, and there's a trilogy, and it's actually out of sequence, kind of like Star Wars. So it follows this throwback detective. He's like a Mexican Clint Eastwood. So it's something you've never seen before.
Okay. Did you into this movie? Did you blend in elements from other movies, or is it purely original? All your creativity.
Well, I think being creative is how you use old stories and old ideas.
Right.
There's nothing new under the sun. You're always drawing
Right.
for something, but it's the ingredients that you put in there. Those ingredients aren't new. It's what ingredients that you put in there. So yeah, absolutely. I use a ton of elements from all over the place, but the film overall is very original, and it's something that, especially it's a retro piece. So, I've never seen anything like it.
Okay. And you've gotten lots of local acclaim. I was at an event for LULAC where you were recognized as a distinguished civic person here in Houston that is making a contribution. What other accolades have you been able to receive here in Houston?
Well, I think the big thing that really, for my first film made a major splash. I mean, it was just, it was culturally the first Mexican American film, and the city backed it up and bought it. I mean, we so many people saw that movie and supported it here, and then a lot of people bring it up to me all across the country. But when Trap Plane won Best Drama at the New York Web Fest in 2016. That we broke the internet. That a Houston filmmaker winning in New York was not very common, and you can win in your backyard, you can go win at World Fest, but when you go to New York and win, it's a big thing. And we beat out 3,000 films from everywhere.
Wow. Is that movie available online, or how can people watch that movie?
Yeah, Trap Plane, Amazon Video. On Amazon Video, we got Through the Valley with Danny Trejo. That's my first film. Trap Plane, which is a series, and Sponsors, which is a series. And we'll be releasing Squad 1 and Squad 2 very soon. But again, it won't be on an Amazon Prime platform. It'll be a different platform.
Right. Strictly strategy speaking, I'm curious. Once you create a template such as the Squad and your other series, is it a lot easier just to continue with the next movie rather than starting from scratch with a totally new project? Is that easier?
Well, it depends on what you leave off on. If you leave off where these characters are still going and they're, like the Squad, you're going to see it definitely keeps going. It's really how you live it off. But I like to build franchises. So the Trap Plane's a series, Sponsors is a series. Squad 1 and 2. So yeah, absolutely. It's good to build your own franchise and brand. And but again, these are all different ideas though. That's five. I have 5 different ideas.
Okay.
Genres of films, I should
say. So you had this in mind from the outset, is to build a franchise and reverse engineer how you're going to release the different movies.
Yeah, you got to build promotion around. That's what we're doing right now. Is taking our time and you wouldn't know about the movie if I didn't get out there and talk to people, and then the buzz will start spreading, and people will see wow, this is good, for this genre, and what we're doing, this is big, and people will pay attention to it, and then it'll start catching on.
let me ask you this: do you weave some of your own personal mythology or personal story into your movies? Sometimes filmmakers are known to do that.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm always writing the script. Anywhere I go, something funny happens. It's a Seinfeld moment. Those things. You always got those things that you're going to throw in there. And then if I meet some of these people, I'll take some of those mannerisms and I'll put into those characters.
Do you have any cameos in your movies?
Yeah, no, I'm a pretty well known actor. I actually get booked more for acting than anything else.
Okay, okay. So I didn't know that you're also a prolific actor in other people's movies or just yours.
Yeah, no, I've acted in other people's movies as well. But in my films, I mean, I'm acting alongside some really good actors, and I'm holding my own. And again, I wouldn't hire myself if I wasn't the best for it.
Sure, absolutely. You got to believe in your product. You got to eat your own dog food, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, if you won't eat it, who's gonna eat it?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. What are you expecting tomorrow night? Given the buzz, given everything that you've been doing to build up for tomorrow, what are you expecting?
Oh, it used to be a fun, energetic night. I think people are they're gonna know, wow, this is the real deal. This is something. There's something special here, and I think that energy is just gonna carry on. And I just can't wait to get the interviews from after the movie and just hear people's reactions and what do they say for it, and then from there we'll start spreading that word.
Talk to us about the after party. What's going to happen at the after party?
Oh yeah, so it's right down the street. It's called Now or Later Steak Night. We got for the VIPs. We got a section with everything. Our own DJ. Just a great meet and greet with all the main actors will be there. Angel Salazar, myself, and that's an opportunity. You get a chance to be more personable and stuff, and just and have a little more fun. And obviously the movie's over, so we're all more relaxed.
Is that open to the public, or do you need tickets to attend that event?
Oh, it's open to the public, but we have a VIP section for us.
Okay. All right. And
So,
we'll take one more question from In Search of Nirvana. How do you start writing a script, and who is your favorite director?
you start with the idea first. So with the squad, I first researched it and said, okay, this is the macrocosm of all. You got the beginning and the end, and then you got to fill it in. So you start with the big idea first, and then you attack it, and you kind of put it in a different subjects, and then from there you start outlining, and you got to have it's character driven. So who's your main character? And then for me, it always starts with the characters, and I build around them.
Okay. Uh, can you tell us, without doing a spoiler alert, what the big cliffhanger is of the squad? Or we have to see it?
You know what? You got to watch it because I kind of want to hear what the audience tells me. I could tell you, but then they could say it was something else. So
yeah,
it's one of those movies I think you can watch again and again. Some movies you can watch it once, that was it. It's one of those you can watch it again and again. You'll catch things.
And everyone's going to take something differently. Tell us, Juan, what is I'm sure your parents are very proud of you. How does your family feel about your accomplishments?
Oh, well, my mother thought I was crazy till she saw my movie at Walmart. So
okay. Did she say finally Mamijo has a real job?
Oh, she just goes, now I understand. It's okay.
Creative people have to fight their biggest battles with their own family to just get the support and the buy-in from people that don't have the same vision.
Right. But they're all supportive. I got an extended family here in Houston, and it's just like you'll see my network of people is huge, and it's only getting bigger. So that's the great thing about it. We're constantly adding on and inspiring people.
That is great to hear. Juan, we have 4 minutes left. Any final words from you?
Yeah, so come out tomorrow, Match Theater, Midtown, Texas. That's match.org is the website. Get a ticket with VIPs. You get a shirt, you get a poster. It's going to be red carpet. Dressed to impress. This is a chance if you're really into film, you want to see something special. It is, and for me, I want to share it, and then I got to move on. I got things to do with this. So this is a moment for me to, don't say I'm not accessible. Don't say, hey, I didn't do stuff for the public. I'm doing it this one time, and then you'll say, now he's so Hollywood. Well, I was here for you that one time. Remember, that's the thing. If you don't support us now, don't support us then.
Yes. And I'll be there as a photographer, as an official reporter for Que Onda Magazine, covering your event, and I'll be taking pictures that will appear on Que Onda social media. Maybe even get some pictures into our publication, into our print publication.
Yeah, if you guys are smart, you'll put me on the front cover.
that's editorial decision. That's not up to me.
Yeah.
But our publisher is going to be there, so you can ask him directly. That would be a strategic move for sure.
Right.
All right, Juan. Well, thank you for joining us, and that's all, my friends. Until next week, go out and have a great week. Juan Velasquez from the movie The Squad, premiering tomorrow at. Tell us where it's premiering.
At Match Theater, MATCH, Match Theater. It's matchtheater.org. And then you could share the link for the tickets.
I'm going to have the link in the show notes so that people can follow you on Facebook and get all the notices. All right. Well, that's it. That does it for today. Go out and have a great week.
All right.